Hello, everyone. Shannon here at IXACT Contact. We're going to jump right in and get started. I know there's going to be some people trickling in as we get going here today. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. And like I said, I'm going to jump right in. I am going to turn my camera off in just a couple seconds here so that I'm not a big distraction as we're talking through our webinar slides and a little bit of an overview in the IXACT Contact solution today. And I just want to pop through into a couple little housekeeping items. There's me, my contact details, and I'll of course pop up our contact details again towards the end of the webinar today. If there's any questions that you have, feel free to reach out to the team. And of course, during the webinar, if you do have any questions, there's this questions box in your GoToWebinar dashboard panel. Find that. You can always pop it out, use the little arrow on the side there to make that bigger. We have Sean and Chris joining us in the Q&A box today, answering your questions in real time. If there are anything that you think of as we're going along, please reach out to them there and they'll be able to answer in real time. Feel free to send them a quick little note now and just give them a wave, say hi, let them know that you're out there, where you're joining us from this afternoon, and they'll be happy to chat with you. So let's jump in. Now just let me turn off this webcam here, like I said, so I'm not one big giant distraction. And we're going to jump right into our presentation today. So we're talking about leads and online leads and how less than 1% of those online leads have closed. So what do we do? What are other options? So the goal of this webinar is to talk about what we can do when 1% of less than 1% actually of online leads are closing, the importance of CRM to your business and why you should be taking action with getting those systems in place to help you run your business. And directly in line with that, I'm going to talk about agent personas. And I'll get into what agent personas mean, sort of personality types, not to sort of drill it down into, real individuals, but to give you sort of an idea of the agent personas, and it's all done through T360, the real estate research firm. Their research has shown that there's different agent personas that make doing business in certain ways easier or more difficult, depending on which persona you fall into, and why there's a shift that is occurring in the real estate CRM space directly related to those personas. This is an educational webinar. There's going to be a brief CRM demo. If you were looking for a more detailed CRM deep dive, we'd be happy to provide you with more of an overview personal tour at another time. So just reach out to us and let us know if you were looking for more info directly on demoing of the CRM, because we've got a lot of information to cover just on this topic of less than 1% of online leads closed. And we're using the 2020 data because we've got a full calendar year there to look at. 200 million online leads were generated. And it's actually less than, we said just 1% closed, actually less than 1% of those leads closed. And the question is, okay, yeah, well, everybody wants to just sort of shrug it off and say, yeah, well, those leads, those are crappy leads, right? They're just people looking around. It's just leads from websites that are just sending out information to real estate agents. And that's kind of true in some ways, right? Like there's lots of people that are just looking, right? They're just looking. They're really not looking to buy or sell right now. They're just looking. They're just curious. Maybe they're a nosy neighbor and they just want to know what's going on in the market. Fine. But that's not actually the majority of leads. So why are they not closing? And you can't just chalk it up to, they're all crap. They're not, right? The reality is that converting online leads requires a certain mindset. It's a certain type of discipline and a certain ability to take massive rejection. It is cold calling. Did you sign up to be a cold calling business development rep when you joined real estate? Probably not. Did you come from that background? Also probably not. So the ability to make that type of phone call and have that mindset just doesn't always fit, right? So as the majority of agents just not having the ability to take on that type of calling mindset, it just makes it difficult. Just pardon me for one quick second. I'm going to get rid of the dogs. My sincere apologies. Working from home is a joy, isn't it? When your coworkers are noisy, little furry beasts. Sorry about that. So again, just getting back to why these online leads aren't closing, and it's not necessarily just because the leads aren't good. It's sometimes it's just sort of a mindset that you didn't sign up for, right? Actually, 85% of real estate agents, and this is actually from T360's study on agent personas and what type of agents are able to convert this type of lead, 85% of you are simply not wired to chase strangers. You don't have this converting online lead, cold calling, personality mindset like that BDR, cold calling, online lead gen personality. But so many real estate agents are still focusing on, I need more leads. I need to get leads from online. I need a lead source. And there's a different way to do that. The problem is this isn't working, right? If less than 1% of leads are closing, then something's not working. We've got to do something else. And unfortunately, as a result, it means that if you're focused on this one area of generating leads and getting leads, you're probably losing business and might actually be out of touch with a key resource for warm leads. So that's where I'm going to get into the agent personas. And I'm going to jump right into this again and how that impacts what contact management system, what strategies you might utilize in your business. So again, we've got the personas, and this is done from T360. T360 is that consulting firm in the real estate space. They did a lot of research to come up with this information. The agent personas, they broke it down into 4 types. So we're looking at here on the left-hand side, the prospector and converter. That's the cold caller, the true salesperson and what their practices are. And the converters, sort of same thing. You have that ability to make tons and tons of phone calls to those types of online, essentially cold leads. On the right-hand side, we've got our networkers and marketers. And the key practice of the networkers and marketers are just that. You're good at developing expert knowledge in certain areas, at building relationships, at messaging to a specific key audience with campaigns that fit what they're interested in. So just different approaches, whether it's, prospecting habits and phone skills and, high drive to make those phone calls, or if it's more nurturing and relationship building. And some of the key things they looked at were the challenges with each of these different personas and what you then require to overcome those challenges. So again, left-hand side, the prospector and converter, some of the main challenges were just time, right? It's effort dependent, and you've got a lead shortage. These are the agents that are going, I need an online lead source and I need more leads because I got to make more phone calls. And it requires time. It requires certain phone skills and dedication and dialogue scripts to be able to make those phone calls. Similarly with the converter, you've got a hard cost, right? You might be doing hard advertising that then is generating leads, but essentially they're still cold leads. They may have just come into your net through some kind of advertising. They're still a cold lead. They're not from your network. You've still got to convert that lead. And you're sort of not in control of that necessarily because you're pushing things out and whatever comes back comes back. So there's a requirement of money, and same thing, time, and then the skills and the scripts and the dialogues to make those conversions happen. Whereas on the flip side, on the right hand side, the challenges of the networker and the marketer are more that you're restricted to your circle of influence. Who are the people that are in your network right now? Sometimes it can be difficult to scale that audience. How do I get the people that are in my immediate little sphere to help me expand that sphere and spread my message? And you're in a comfort zone, right? It's hard to break out of our comfort zone doing what you're good at And then you think, oh, I could do something different. Yeah, but it's kind of working for me. It's kind of working for me the way it is. So, with the networker, you've got to have some relationships and relationships with the community, and you've got to have an identity. Who are you? What are you good at? Right? Is it that whenever anybody, and I've heard this said about a couple of different agents that have had a long career in real estate, where nobody called anybody before, like nobody called anybody but this one realtor before thinking about moving in that neighborhood, right? It's like a 6-block radius that she'd been marketing to for years and years and years. Everybody called that agent because she knew everything about it. She attended all the PTA meetings, the community meetings. She knew everything there was to know about that community. She was the community expert. That was her identity. And that's something that, as a networker, agents tend to be really good at is finding that niche, whether it's a neighborhood or a specific subject matter. And then marketers, of course, are able to deliver expert knowledge, but you've got to find that knowledge, right? So you're kind of in the same boat as the networker in some ways. Again, same thing, your challenge can be building an audience. When you start with X number of contacts, how do you then grow that audience to make it a more widespread audience? How do you continually building on that group of people? Some of what the marketer requires is a little similar to the converter. It does require often some money involved so that you can, you're pushing out certain campaigns that show your expert knowledge, and you've got to have a little bit of marketing knowledge and skill. But still the networker and marketer personas tend to go hand in hand. As I'm looking at these different personas, I kind of think, which one do I fall into? Where am I? Am I a prospector? Am I a converter? Or am I more on the networker and marketer side? And I'm going to circle back to to that question in a minute. What you need to be able to be successful in this business, and in terms of different tools that you need to be able to be successful in real estate, as each of these different personas differs from prospector to networker to marketer to converter, right? So prospector and converter side, you've got to have a data system. You've got to have a lead source, something that is driving those contacts into your list, right? You've got to have people to phone to be able to make those phone calls. You've got to have some kind of CRM follow-up system. And of course, direct mail is helpful. A conversion-oriented website, right? Pop-ups or reasons for people to fill out a form on that website. Proof of results through testimonials or reviews on that website. And sometimes a phone dialer, right? If you're making a high volume of calls, the agents that are doing that are typically using some kind of dialer system that's auto dialing for them, right? It just helps them power through rather than having to physically dial. And same thing with the converter. There's a lead gen aspect to it. You've got to have leads constantly coming to you, but then it's that religious commitment to following up, right? You might call someone 7, 8, 10 times before they'll even speak with you. So that can be tedious for someone who's more of the networker or marketer personality, where you're thinking, why am I calling these strangers 7, 8, 10 times before they even have a conversation with me, when I could be calling people from my own network? I've got to have the time to touch base with friends so that when my friends think of real estate or hear somebody else thinking of real estate, they think of me and they tell them about me. Right? So you're creating that growing network more so through referrals. Networker needs sort of a basic CRM, basic email marketing and keep in touch platform. I apologize for the dogs again. They're not cooperating this afternoon, unfortunately. Hopefully they'll be quiet for a few minutes for us. Again, networker being able to have just a CRM that keeps everything in one place, that has the ability to do some marketing, a keep in touch system, whether it's reminders or if it's automated emails going out. You can have a quote unquote business card website. So a basic website where if someone looks you up, there's you have a professional presence online, and you've got to have some kind of social media presence, right? So you're growing that social media network. And similarly with the marketer, a lot of the things are the same, right? You're still capturing leads, right? So your website might be a little more robust, where there are lead captures on that website, reasons for people to give you their contact information. And often those websites are niche or brand oriented. What do you do best? Is it a neighborhood website? So you're, again, pushing out your expertise in that area. So looking at these four different personas, think about which one you fall under. And I'm going to shift a little bit from, okay, great, less than 1% of online leads close. Here's the personas that are kind of leading the way, prospector and converter. They're the ones converting that less than 1% of online leads. The networkers and marketers need to do something else. And what does that mean for CRM? It's everything. The right CRM, as we just looked at on the previous slide, the right CRM for the prospector and converter is different than the CRM that works for the networker and marketer, and vice versa, right? The prospector and converter doesn't need a long-term conversion CRM that's following up with past clients and building relationships. They need a CRM that can capture incoming leads and keep them on top of those leads until they become a client, or a hot prospect. And the networker and marketer need CRMs that have more of those ongoing tools to build and nurture and manage over time. So again, back to that T360 data, is that they concluded that 85% of agents actually fall into the networker and marketer category. So like I said, 85% of agents are not wired to follow up with online leads. That's where this is coming from, right? T360, through their research and conducting this study and compiling this data, concluded that 85% of you fall into the networker and marketer category. So I'm curious. Tell Sean and Chris in the Q&A, which persona do you fall into? Are you a networker, a marketer, some combination of those two things? Or are you in the 15%, on the prospector and converter side? You love the chase of the hunt and the cold calling and being able to eventually get a hold of those cold leads. Maybe you're a combination, sort of both sides. You're one of those blend. But typically, we're talking to the 85% of agents who fall under that networker and marketer category. Sean, Janiqua, both networkers, marketers. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so I mean that's what we're talking about, right? It's the challenge, especially right now in a market that's so hot that you've got frustrated buyers. What are they going to do? They've made multiple offers on multiple properties, and it's just there's not enough inventory, so the prices are going crazy. So your buyers are going crazy, but how do you get the listings to then satisfy the buyer needs? And that's where your CRM comes in. So rather than being one of those many agents or brokerages that feel the need to invest in lead gen, that there's a better way. And that's where we're talking about this shift in real estate and how agents are working their business to get more business from their current list. It doesn't have to be that difficult. So let's go back to the basics. Your database, right? We all have a database. As big or small as you feel your database is, your database is huge value to you, especially now. Keep in touch with that database so that you're strengthening relationships, and it will help you grow a profitable referral and repeat-based business. And the core technology that will help you do that is your real estate CRM. So, we're going back to, just not to dumb it down, but to sort of circle back to core systems and platforms and services that are going to serve you best in building your business over time. I just want to highlight, before I jump into the system and show you a little bit about what ATTENDEES Contact does and how we do it, and how we make it easy for you when you are so busy, is I just want to highlight this Wave Group. Wave Group is part of, or a subsidiary of RE Technology. They did a CRM effectiveness study. Now, they pulled brokerages across the country and asked them, what they believe were the key benefits of CRM platforms for the real estate agents working with them. And you guys can see that the swing in this, but like, we're looking at anything over 50 or anything over 40% as a benefit, anything from getting referrals to getting organized and having a system of record, and above all, strengthening your client relationships over time. So we want you to be more productive. It will help you get more repeat and referral business while being more productive. And of course, supporting your strong sales habits and helping you just in general manage your stress levels, right? If things are organized, if you have a system in place that's helping you in the background, even when you are busy and you might feel like you're running around with like a chicken with your head cut off, you have these systems in place that are helping you manage that communication in the background. So without sort of showing you too deep a dive into the CRM today, I just want to highlight how easy it can be to get something like this set up for you and working for your business quickly and easily. So very low time investment, low cost investment to get a key system set up and working for your business. So this is the IXACT Contact dashboard. So if you haven't seen it before, quick orientation, menu items down the left-hand side, contact list down the right-hand side, and your dashboard or workspace down the middle. So when you first log in, you're on the dashboard. That's what we're seeing here with things like our Keep in Touch coach and other dashboard widgets below. This will be your workspace. So as I navigate a few areas of the system today, you'll see these the area in the middle of the system change as your viewing pane or your workspace. So often the most sort of daunting task or the most sort of like, oh gosh, I don't know if I have time to do that, is simply getting your contacts into the CRM. If you've got your contacts in any kind of digital platform, it's your phone, your email, the back end of a website, the back end of your MLS, some other contact management system that you aren't using to the best of its ability, we can help you get those contacts into IXACT Contact. So let our support team help you with that. They're awesome. And that's what they will help you with, making sure that you have all of those key pieces, these key tools that I'm going to show you in place. Step number one is getting your contacts into the system, but don't let that be the thing that stops you. Even if you decide, yeah, you know what, I don't want to do an export of everybody because I don't know that I want them all in my CRM, then you can add individual contacts, but make it your mission to add 5 more a day, right? And it can be as simple as just log in, click the add button, and it's like typing a contact into your phone. So it's just entering the main contact. If you know their spouse and the spouse's contact information, their email salutation will automatically populate. Do you know their home address? Often, in real estate, we do. If they're a past client and you know their move-in date, this is a key follow-up date, and there's automated follow-up for move-in anniversaries in the IXACT Contact CRM. That's just one of the easy ways that the system can help keep you top of mind with everybody in your database. There's been studies done by NAR, and they do this on a recurring basis. It's the home seller profile study. Some of you may have seen some of those stats. The home seller profile study, I'm talking about buyers versus sellers here, but same statistics apply. Those that were polled that had used a real estate agent for their their selling transaction rather, said, yes, I had a great experience. 85% of them, in fact, said, yes, I had a great experience. I would use my realtor again or recommend them to a friend or family member. Cool, awesome. But, and here's the big but, when those same people were asked again, did you use your realtor again when you had a real estate need, or did you, in the meantime, recommend them to a friend or family member? It was less than 13%. So you guys did a great job. Kudos to the real estate industry. You do a great job of doing a great job of delivering excellent service and helping your clients, but then you're not getting the referrals. Why? Well, your past clients have to be able to remember who you are. And often, and too often, and this is not just a real estate salesperson problem, it's a salesperson problem, we're focused on what's right in front of us. right? We get sort of that tunnel vision of like our immediate pipeline, our immediate clients, the clients that are, right behind them in line, those hot prospects. Cool, great. But what about the past clients? What about the long-term prospects? And that's where these key systems will help you stay in touch over time, but also get the referrals and the repeat business when it's time for those. So things like a move-in date, right? Being able to, let me just pop into the keep in touch settings and I'll show you here how quick and easy this is. I'm going to put these people's move-in date into my calendar. I'm going to create a task or appointment for this move-in date, and I'm going to automatically send them an email greeting card on that special day. This is going to go out with your email signature at the bottom of it. So every year for your past clients, they are going to get, hey, congratulations, it's been another year in this beautiful home, and it ties it directly back to you, right? So it's not just a date that's special to them, it's a date that's special to them that they've probably forgotten about. Let's be realistic. Who remembers the exact day they moved into their house, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years later? They might remember what month or the time of year, but remembering the exact day can be more challenging. And it's also tying them back to you and your business and how you helped them find that beautiful home. So great ways to just touch base and follow up. Some of the other automation that's key in the system, let me just get back into my demo account here. Not sure how I managed to get into a live account. I want to be in my demo account. There we go. Some of the other automation that's key in IXACT is being able to send everybody in your list an email newsletter on a monthly basis with very little, almost no effort on your part. So we write the content. We've formatted it for you. We're writing new articles, new personal message for you every month, and then the platform actually delivers it to your contacts on your behalf. So it can be a set it and forget it. You do have the opportunity to customize, but take advantage of having that content in place, that when you are busy, you have this ongoing consistency of communication. And that's key, right? Is just creating that consistency with move-in anniversaries for your past clients. Fantastic. Birthdays, anybody you learn their birthday, put them in the system, same thing happens. Automatic email card. Those are personal touches. And then on the more general scale, keeping everyone in your list up to date on all the things you know about home ownership. So you'll notice that these articles are not necessarily buying or selling. They are articles of interest about home ownership. So what do you know about home ownership? What should these people be thinking about regarding home ownership? So making it, really easy to just think of you when they think home, right? Then they think, oh, Shannon might know something about that. So just being able to have this piece going out automatically on your behalf. Again, completely customizable, or set it and forget it, however much you want to put into it, but having those key pieces, automating that connection back to your database. Similarly with activity plans, we've written 9 different activity plans for you. There's automated emails that are being sent out. There are also call reminders built right into these. So if I look at, like, say this 2-year-long campaign for first-time home buyers that are currently renting, I've got automated emails, I've got phone call reminders built right in, even with a little topic of what you might want to talk about. So you could like pop your script in here. All good salespeople should have some kind of script of just what that phone call intro should be about. And as these emails go out, again, you're just creating that additional touch, that consistency of communication. And every one of these emails, whether it's the monthly e-newsletter, whether it's an activity plan email, is positioning you as an expert in all things home ownership, and it's bringing you back to top of mind. So there's no excuse. There's no like, oh, I didn't call them because I forgot their name. You're always at the top of their inbox with something relevant, and so nobody's ever going to fall through the cracks again. So, and that's, like I said, I'm going to just sort of limit the system demo today. We've got a lot more sort of just topic around this and why it's so important to your business, and I want to get back to that, but wanted to show you some of the key elements of the system and how easy it is to get contacts into the system. We'll upload the file for you or sync with Google or Outlook or your phone, wherever your contacts are coming from. And then having those key automated emails like birthdays, move-in anniversaries, monthly email newsletter, helping you with those touches in the background so that when you are busy, you do still have something relevant going out to everybody in your list. So let me jump back over to my slide deck here for you, and we're going to move forward again. So some of the challenges, okay, now what? I've got my contacts in the database. I've set up some automation, right? Maybe I've got my, the next e-newsletter is going to go out in the 1st of June, and I'm ready for that. But what else do you do in the meantime? And part of it is just connecting with everybody in your A list. And your A list, is just one level of categorization within your database. All contacts in your exact contact CRM can have contact groups and categories assigned. But at a minimum, put it in your A list or your B list. Your A list is that 20% of your contacts that will drive 80% of your business over your career, right? So especially for those of you that are networkers and marketers, that 20% of your list is the people that know, like, and trust you. They have their own sphere, right? Doesn't matter what business they're in, everybody has their little sphere of people that they talk to on a regular basis. And those are people that know, like, and trust them. So if the person that is in your network has people in their network, they're going to make those referrals for you. And it's just going to help you. That's how we're going to build on your existing list, right? That was one of the challenges for networkers and marketers, just building that existing list by asking for the referral, by reminding everyone in your list, whether it's your past clients, referral sources, just continually reminding them that you are an expert in all things home ownership. Doesn't matter how you reach out to them: phone, text, email, social media. Set up a Zoom, right? Maybe it's just a client appreciation Zoom or a one-to-one coffee meeting, letters, handwritten notes, whatever it might be, right? Just say hi, providing them real estate information on your current market, tips to supporting local businesses in your area, especially now, as things start to get back to normal and open up. We got to support those local businesses. Positioning yourself as an expert, not just on real estate, but also on the neighborhood, and property ownership in general. And I also want to just touch on, keeping yourself positive, right? People want to do business with people that are positive, that are experts on the subject. So take training, get coaching, take a webinar. Thank you for joining us. I hope everybody learns, even if it's just one little tidbit that's the takeaway, that you're learning something, that you're always gaining information in the industry and making yourself that much more of an expert, so that you are memorable, that you are that positive, excited person where you're going to attract a lot more business. So do something different, right? We talked about sometimes networkers and marketers can be trapped in that comfort zone where I kind of have a niche, I do a thing, that's great, but step outside of that a little bit, even just a tiny bit, and it will set you apart from your competition. So I'm going to shift back to CRM now that I've given you my little sort of personal advice on what you need to, it's professional advice, on what you need to be doing to just making yourself better, to growing yourself as a business professional. Why do you need a CRM? We're talking about CRM, we're talking about why the online leads are maybe not the way to go, right? If that's not the best strategy, then what is, and we're talking about why CRM is the best strategy. CRM is shown to be a tool of top agents. Active Rain did a study, it's the rich agent, poor agent study, and CRM was found to be key to the success of the higher performing agents through that study. So it asked them all kinds of different things, like what kind of car do you drive, and what neighborhood do you live in, what did you spend on your own home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the key things that top performers were found to have as a tool in their business toolkit was a good real estate CRM. And things like email marketing, things like an email newsletter, was also key to that success. The study, Rich Agent, Poor Agent, showed that the more successful agents were actually twice as likely as their less successful colleagues to be using a real estate CRM. So it's not just us saying it because we're the CRM company. There have been studies showing exactly this. And I already mentioned this study to you, but here's the data again. The home seller profile study, 85% of homeowners would use the same agent again, and they don't, and it's because they forgot your name. So it's all about maintaining those relationships, and you're going to do that by having the right systems in place so that you're staying top of mind with past clients, important referral sources. And of course, as you have those systems in place, it's going to make it that much easier to follow up with your past clients, because every time you make a phone call and you log a note on that, it's easy to then, even if it's 6 months, 10 months, a year later, it's easy to follow up because you know something about that person. You've made a note about it. It doesn't feel like you're calling a stranger, even if it's someone that you don't talk to, more than a couple of times a year. You'll easily be able to earn six-figure income while still having a life, because you've got those key systems working in the background for you. If some of that communication is automated, if the reminders for who to follow up with at the right time are automated, then it's that much easier for you to take on more business, but also still have time for yourself. And you'll feel organized and in control of your time and business. And ultimately, you're even able to build a true business that you can sell to fund retirement. We actually had a realtor on a webinar with us back in the fall, and she filled us in on, like, her secret is just keeping everything organized all in one place. She's been an Exact Contact customer for years, and we reached out to her because she'd been a customer for so long. I said, how is it working for you? What are you doing that's working for your business? She's semi-retired, works less than 25 hours a week, still makes six figures because she has systems in place that help her run her business. So it is that key tool. And there's all kinds of agent testimonials and agents that are senior in their career that have been very successful because they have these awesome systems in place. So why would you pick Exact Contact? There's lots of different CRMs, whether they're generic CRMs or real estate CRMs. Exact Contact is what we like to call a next-gen real estate CRM. We call it next-gen because we're always updating, we're always adding things, we're always looking at the market and tools that agents need so that we can incorporate those into the system. And it's an all-in-one platform. So you're getting all of the tools that you need to manage your information in a single place. So it's keeping you organized so that you'll save time and keep in touch better with your past clients, nurture and convert more leads into listings, and generate ultimately more referrals and repeat business without having to play the online lead gen game. Pardon my stutter. So in Exact Contact, as we just saw, there's a ton of information that can be stored in the system. It's a robust CRM, but it's easy to learn and use and get set up. The email marketing platform with the monthly e-newsletter, with the activity plan emails, those auto-sending emails already set up and ready to go, your emails for birthdays and move-in anniversaries all built in. We even include a website. So there's a ton of great features in the system. Again, I'm not going to do a full product overview today, but there is a website included. You can also subscribe to our social media posting service, Social Stream, and that will provide top tier content that pushes that content out to your social media platforms and ultimately helps you generate leads. And as I said, so easy to get the system set up and working for you, because we have a concierge setup service that gets you set up and running quickly and easily. And even if your brokerage is looking to roll something out to everyone in the office, we also have a platform for brokerages with a recruiting CRM. So for those growing offices, there's also options to subscribe everybody to the full CRM. There's so many different things that Exact Contact does. I'm not going to read you the list. There's lots of bullet points here, but again, so many great features that set Exact Contact apart from, especially a general CRM, like a HubSpot, those CRMs that are not designed specifically for real estate, but also from some of our competitors in the real estate CRM space, where we're pulling everything all into one place so that you don't have to go, to 4 or 5 different services to get what solutions you're looking for. It's all under one belt, under your CRM. It has your email marketing tools, your website, and everything all built in to one easy to use system. And ultimately, it's going to help your business because it will keep you organized. So you're managing your contacts all in one place. If you don't have a CRM today, or if you've got a CRM and you don't really use it, think about where your contacts are. Is it easy to say, yes, my contacts are in A? Or is it, oh, my contacts are kind of here, there, and everywhere? And most of them are here, but I've got a couple over there in another platform or on a piece of paper. We want to get you organized. And that's key to making sure you're staying in touch and staying top of mind to build relationships with everyone in your network, because that's going to generate more referrals. People don't necessarily have to do business with you directly to be valuable to your business. Of course, everyone has some sort of leads coming in, even the networkers and marketers, as we saw in the profiles of the personas earlier. They still have a website. You still need a website. You're still going to have lead capture forms. There's still going to be people that float into your network through those sources. So you still need to be able to capture those and then have that nurture and conversion. And that's where those activity plans in your newsletter and things come in. I didn't get into it, but there's goal setting and performance tracking. So you actually set goals for yourself for your GCI, for how many phone calls you're going to make, for how many handwritten notes you're going to send. Whatever your goals are, set them up, track your progress towards them, and you'll just be that much more ahead in keeping yourself on track to achieve those goals, and then beyond. And then, of course, managing those leads with your marketing automation is just going to help you expand your business, because you're getting more referrals, because you're expanding your network, right? If you send out an email to everyone in your list, maybe you've got 125 people in your direct network, but then 5 of those people send it to 5 more people, then that's just, again, showing you that growth. Because if you're sending valuable content, someone's bound to share it. And that's what's going to help build your database over time, by nurturing your own list, the people that already know, like, and trust you. And especially now, people want to do business with someone that they know, like, and trust. So I'm going to get into the overall value and cost, of course. If you were to go and find all of the different services included in IXACT Contact and purchase them separately, to get a real estate CRM, you would be looking at somewhere between $30 and $50 on average. To find someone to write a professional e-newsletter for you, $25 to $50 a month. An email marketing platform so that you can then send and deliver that email newsletter, $15 to $30. A website, which we include, 20 to 100, depending on how custom and fancy it is. And you're looking at somewhere between $90 and $230 a month. Well, with IXACT Contact, you're getting all of that for $33 a month. That's based on our annual billing. If you do month to month, it's $39. So you are getting a bit of a savings by doing that annual plan. So again, just pulling everything all into one place, one low cost, and we help you get it all set up with our awesome concierge setup service. Our support team's fabulous. And even after the concierge service, you're not limited to how many times you can phone support or text support or chat with them, email them. Being able to get that assistance as you need is key to you running your business. And we really believe in it. So we've got an awesome team behind the system, behind you, making sure that it gets set up and working for your business as you need it to. And of course, that you have that ongoing support. There's tons of different resources in place to help you with running the system. Again, a lot of it runs in the background, right? So it's not something where you have to feel like you're working the CRM. A lot of the work is done in the background for you, but especially initially, use a little bit of a learning curve like anything new. We have quick start webinars. We run those daily at 1 o'clock. We've got a setup wizard that will walk you through step by step, getting everything into the system and turning on those key items for you. And then, of course, tutorial videos on an ongoing basis. There's a help guide and our unlimited support. So anytime you need assistance with your account, you've got it. Before I wrap up, I do want to give you the opportunity to ask any questions. I know some of you have been popping those in, and Sean and Chris have been doing an awesome job of answering throughout the live session today. But if you think of anything before we wrap up today, please do let them know. And if there's anything that we missed, we'll circle back with you after the webinar, of course. So just to get everybody on board here, you do get your first 5 weeks free with Exact Contact. It's exactcontact.com/FR special. This webinar is a special webinar just for Florida Realtors. So you've got your partner code there, exactcontact.com/FR special, and that will get you signed up for your first 5 weeks absolutely free. Think of that free trial as your chance to really get the system set up and making sure it's working for your business before you get to the end of the free trial. So you've got just over a month, and that's includes our concierge setup and our unlimited support. And I'll also mention, if you're a rookie, if you're in your first year in real estate, your first 6 months are free. Because this is such a key business tool, we really believe that as a new agent, getting those key tools set up right out of the gate will just benefit you so much over the course of your business. You'll be able to get started that much faster. You'll be able to start building your database that much sooner and start nurturing all of the people that are in your current network into long-term referrals and clients. So again, any questions after the webinar, feel free to reach out to us. The 866 number or our email, info@exactcontact.com. Both of those will get you a live human being with real answers to your questions, and we look forward to chatting with all of you. Hope that you enjoyed the topic today. Hope that everybody learned even just a little tidbit from the session, and thank you so much for joining us. There is a quick survey at the end of the webinar. It's just 3 questions. Would love your input, feedback, suggestions for new topics, whatever you'd like to throw into that survey, and I look forward to seeing you on future webinars. Have a great afternoon, everybody.